Hi, welcome to my first episode of Throwback Thursday, and today's subject is going to be 90s Backstreet Boys CDs. Now, a few of them are actually from the early 2000s, but most of them are like imports and stuff like that. Back in the 90s, Backstreet Boys was actually released in Europe and Canada before it was released in the US, and probably a lot of people watching are from the US, so you might not be familiar with some of these CDs. I tried to put it in the correct order, but I really can't remember 100% which ones came first, so I'm just going to sort of go through them. Now, to get a CD in the 90s was not as easy as now. We couldn't order online or anything, so we'd have to go to the record store, and that was either, like, I lived near Vancouver, so it was either HMV or they opened a Virgin Records mega store in Vancouver, and that was really handy because they brought in import CDs. Although they were really expensive, and I'm talking like $40 a CD, so I'm going to be showing you some of the prices at the same time. Anyway, some of the stuff was released in Canada, and then I think I had a couple things given to me from pen pals, because you'd meet on the internet and then they'd like mail things to you and you'd mail things back to them, which we still do now, except we can't really, like, there was no video chat or anything like that, so we had to just sort of talk to each other. Some of the CDs were like special release stuff too. I think one of them might, like one set might not be official. There's just like a variety of stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to put glasses on to read these because my eyes are not as good as they were when I bought them. Okay, so first I'm going to start out with CDs that came from Canada. I may make a mistake, but for my best ability they are from Canada. We started out with Backstreet Boys' We've Got It Going On. So it looked like this. That's the first one I showed. And it had just two songs on it, actually, like Backstreet Boys album medley. Oh no, 3 songs. A radio mix, a Euro mix, and the album medley. Like a lot of the CDs would have like different remixes from different DJs and other stuff like that. And this CD looks like this. Oh, I forgot there's some stuff inside. So this is what you'd get in there. It had the same picture on the CD. I didn't really use these things too much, so I just sort of collected them. And there was like a little merchandise catalog in there. It says, join the Backstreet Boys fan club and you'll receive the following: autograph photo, button, quarterly newsletter with exclusive info about each Backstreet Boy, concert date listings, and other fun facts, all for the low price of $19.95 per year. And at any time, you can call the Backstreet Boys fan line for instant updates and personal messages from the boys. And there's a phone number because there was no internet sort of thing. Well, we had internet, but it was really bad. This would be, I think, around like 1996. And they have a different thing where you can order, and they have 2 t-shirts and like a baseball hat that you could get. And I think this is probably the sticker. It says, wear the Backstreet Boys every day with our full color t-shirts, baseball cap, bandana, and poster. And these pictures are actually, like the shirts were $14.95. This is probably US prices. And they had some stuff that wasn't pictured, they said. But if you can go close, I don't know if you can see. There's one of the shirts. And here's another one. It looks like they made it with like a homemade printer. And there's the little hat. So this was like the beginning of the stuff. And then inside there was like this little booklet as usual, and it had pictures of all the guys. So here's AJ. You can see him. Sorry about the light there, but I really don't have very good lighting in here. Here's Nick. Looks so young. And Brian. Oh, let me get that there. Brian. And yeah, they used to always wear that Fat Farm stuff. Oh, here's Kevin. How about this? Kevin, you look so good. Where is it? There. Kevin. And Howie. Howie always looks good. He never ages. So there's Howie. And if we open this up, there is a poster of the Backstreet Boys. There they are. Kind of an older poster. It still smells new because I haven't really ever opened it that much. So yeah, that's the first CD. There's quite a few, so bear with me. Okay, now these CDs came up after that at some point. We have like really thin singles. They were just like CD singles. Like there were some thicker ones, but there were thin ones like this. And this one is Backstreet Boys' I'll Never Break Your Heart. It might have actually come out first. I'm not sure. It's quite an old one. And it was just a red CD. There's nothing special with it. And it has the radio edit, the LP version, and roll with it. That's another thing. To get like certain songs, we'd have to buy like strange albums from soundtracks and stuff to get like a rare song, because there was no other way to get them. A lot of times they were released in Europe, never came out in Canada, never came out in the US, so we would buy like CDs like this. Next came out this one. I think this might have been the first one that I bought. It's a Get Down remix, and it's one of the thicker CDs, like a CD single. I think this one's pretty cool. And it just has like 5 different mixes of Get Down. I don't know if it has anything inside. No, it just looks like this. So that was kind of cool. That was back when they wore like really cool stuff. And then shortly after that we had the album that came out. So this is the first one we got in Canada, and then I'll show what happened with the American one because I have both versions of the next one. And I think there were a couple different versions of it that came out that had different songs. So this is just the usual one that came out in Canada. And finally, for the older ones, like they used to use this sort of logo right here, right there, and it's on the back of the CD too. This was Quit Playing Games with My Heart, little CD single, and it was just a thin one, so just like that. So then we had the Transitional Cds, which came from like when they're transitioning to America. So we have paper CD singles, so they're very thin, they're just in a paper, and they had like cellophane on them when you bought them. This one here I think came in like a video gift set type thing. It has the album version of All I Have to Give and the conversation mix, and they're talking about a night out with the Backstreet Boys and an all access video there. So they're just trying to get people interested. And it also says, look for the Backstreet Boys new album, April 99. So that actually might be a Canadian one, because I know that we went to the, no, we went to the concert earlier than that. So we went to concert in 1996, April 96. So this is like a transitional CD, and it looks like this is just black. So then we started getting into the US market. I was down in New York for some of this stuff. I did some traveling and stuff back in 1997. But I did pick up some of my CDs at the Virgin Records Megastore in New York City. Theirs was like 3 floors, and the one in Vancouver was only 2 floors. So it had like a basement thing, and that's where they did their performance and stuff. So when they started out in the US, we began with this. And they used this cover for a few of their different CDs. And this is the special sneak preview CD sampler featuring the hit single Quit Playing Games with My Heart. And it also has excerpts of All I Have to Give, We've Got It Going On, Hey Mr. DJ, and I'll Never Break Your Heart from the Backstreet Boys' self-titled debut album in stores August 12th of 1997. And this is a sneak preview CD sampler. So inside here it's just made of paper and plastic. It says, well, first show you. It says, get ready for the Backstreet Boys. AJ, Brian, Howie, Kevin, and Nick. 5 talented and totally hot guys from Orlando, Florida, whose amazing voices have already made them superstars around the globe. This special sneak preview CD includes their hit single, Quit Playing Games with My Heart, as well as a sample of some of the group's favorite songs. Be the first to hear the Backstreet Boys before their debut album comes out August 12th. And for merchandise and fan club information, call or write this number. And they had a website. It was backstreet.com, actually. And it says, call your favorite radio station and tell them you want to hear more from the Backstreet Boys. So that's what this says all right here. I thought it's kind of neat. So then they took this and they used it for a few different covers, as you'll see coming up. I used to live close to the States because I was by Vancouver, so I could go down to Washington State, and I bought this there. It was like this Quit Playing Games with My Heart CD single, and theirs was paper as well. And it had 6 postcard prints. So their CDs were kind of playing down in the States. And it says, Quit Playing Games with My Heart and more great music from the Backstreet Boys can be found on their debut album August 12th. So they're advertising again. At your favorite record store. For more information, call the Backstreet Boys Fan Club Hotline. And it says this is a toll-free call. And check out their website at backstreetboys.com. So they changed the Backstreet Boys website by this point. And inside here, these little postcards. So there's this one, and Kevin, Brian, AJ, Nick, Howie. So that's kind of cool. And then this would become the front of the CD, so it's missing. And you just put them in there. Can't believe I kept all this stuff, but it's kind of fun now to look back at it. Then after that, we got Quit Playing Games With My Heart from the Backstreet Boys. Here's another version of it. It was just a thin one. Same color CD, so it's just released differently. I think this might have been the one that came out in Canada. So, we come out to the debut CD for United States, which was August 12th, 1997. And the same one released in Canada, and they were slightly different. So I bought this one in the United States. It was just titled Backstreet Boys. This is the one that probably most people are familiar with. And I think it has a different set of songs. Yeah, it does. It has 11 songs, and the Canadian one has 12. So these are the difference. The Canadian one was called Backstreet's Back because it was the second CD. So they look almost exactly, well, almost exactly the same, except for that. And same with the back. Just more songs. So I'll show you the difference. It looks like the one from the USA and Canada are both enhanced CDs too. You can put them in your computer. That was a popular thing for a while, and you can watch like videos and stuff. So the Canadian one looked like this. It didn't have any coloring on the CD. It was just like a blue CD. And the American one was like this, and it had extra coloring. It actually looks better, I think. They just filled in with extra color. Maybe they were saving money because they put an extra song on, I don't know, in Canada. And it looks like the American one has a fan merchandise booklet. I don't think the Canadian one has it. Let's see. Maybe it does? No, it doesn't. It has something else, so we'll see. There. I'm not going to get too much into these because everybody is really familiar with them, but the difference is we've got, for songs, so we have a different track listing on both of these CDs. So, the Canadian one, the first song is Backstreet's Back. The second one is As Long As You Can Love Me. Number 3 is All I Have to Give. Number 4, That's the Way I Like It. Number 5, 10,000 Promises. Number 6, Like a Child. Number 7, Hey Mr. DJ. Number 8, Set Adrift on Memory's Bliss. Number 9, That's What She Said. Number 10, Anywhere for You. Number 11, If You Want to Be a Good Girl, Get Yourself a Bad Boy. And number 12, If I Don't Have You. The American one has We've Got It Going On. Number 2, Quit Playing Games With My Heart. Number 3, As Long As You Love Me. Number 4, All I Have to Give. Number 5, Anywhere for You. Number 6, Hey Mr. DJ. Number 7, I'll Never Break Your Heart. Number 8, Darlin'. Number 9, Get Down. Number 10, Set Adrift on Memory's Bliss. And number 11, If You Want to Be a Good Girl, Get Yourself a Bad Boy. So the tracks were quite a bit different because these have a mix of the new ones off this album from Canada and the old Canadian album. So that's what was released. So the original single I showed you for that preview disc had 2 different releases. I think probably one was American, one was Canadian, and one's thick and one's thin. And they used that same cover again for Backstreet's Back. And inside it just looks like this for the thick one. Oh, got like a little picture of Nick Carter in there from back in the day. Come from some Europe magazine, I suppose. And the American one, I believe this is American. Oh, this is actually the UK version. And I would have got that at the Mega store in Vancouver. And it's just that way. Okay, so then there was another one that was released. I think this one looks actually really cool. It's kind of like a Halloween version. It's Everybody's Backstreet's Back. And it's got lightning bolts all over it. And it's an enhanced CD as well. And the inside looks like this, which is really cool. I don't know if you can see, it's purple. Really neat. I think they did a good job on that one. Then we came up to Millennium. So the same one was released in US, Canada, and probably Europe as well. And we have a thin CD, which is I Want It That Way, and it looks like this in the back. And everybody knows Black and Blue, which was also released in Europe and Canada and US, the same CD. Maybe some different tracks, but I only got the one CD. Came with a giant poster, which I have somewhere. Then it actually was Larger Than Life right here. It was like that. And one of the newer ones was Unbreakable. That's when Kevin wasn't there. I have another one somewhere and it's signed when I saw them in concert, but I put it away in a separate box because it had signatures on the outside and you know, you did it over the fence, so you just get them to sign anywhere. So now we're going to get into some of the cool European stuff, which is, I don't have like the first stuff, but I have some of it. This is We've Got It Going On is the first CD, this one here. And it looks like that. It's just a purple one. It's just a thin one. And then we went to Backstreet Boys Anywhere For You. This cost $9.99 back then. Made in England. A lot of times we'd sometimes get a TV show where there'd be like one music video. Like, they didn't really have many music videos online or anything. So if we saw a TV show with it, we'd record it. And then we'd have the song, but we want on a CD so we could listen to it on our stereo. So that's why I buy European CDs. This one, I actually really like the design of this one. Just the color of it. It's Backstreet Boys Quit Playing Games With My Heart. And it's a European CD as well. Thin one. And it's black and pink. I thought that was really nice. And then inside there's like little pictures of them. There they are. I think they're from a magazine in Europe, but I can't remember completely. Then this one I think I got from Sweden. I had a pen pal over in Sweden. And this is Backstreet Boys Anywhere For You. And it was a flower. That's kind of nice. It's just another one of those thin CDs. This is an import one from the UK, so we get an import sticker on them like this. And they'd be sealed, and this one cost $8.99. And it was Backstreet Boys All I Have to Give. So I would just buy things that I didn't have. I don't know, just like a collection thing. I wasn't crazy, just like collecting the stuff. And then there's As Long As You Love Me, which was another thin CD, and that's probably a European one as well, and it was $8.99 at the Virgin Megastore, and then there's the back of it right here, like this. Then we'll get into some of the cool stuff. Some of the really neat stuff came in paper packages. And there was this one set, it was the I'll Never Break Your Heart set, like this. And it had I'll Never Break Your Heart, We've Got It Going On, and a Mark Goodyear interview. Like a lot of interview CDs came out. So this one would open up and it had some stuff inside there. And then you'd open it even further. And there would be pictures. And then another CD. That's probably the interview one. We'll just check it out in a minute. And there's a second part to this. So this here says, no, the interview's on the first CD, and then there's some pictures of the guys right here. I don't know if you can see them. Right there. I really will get better lighting soon, but we'll have to do with this for now. And the second CD had I'll Never Break Your Heart, Radio Edit, Roll With It, and another interview part 2. But this CD actually is not in here. I remember that now. This is just a piece of paper. And so you had to get it in a separate container. They're probably just using it to make more money. But here it is here. So it would go in there. But got both of those. Those were imports as well. Then, okay, I'll save the coolest looking one for last. Backstreet Boys Everybody's Backstreet's Back included double-sided color banner. This one here. This one cost $9.99 at Virgin Megastore. It looks like this. And let's see what's inside. There's a little banner inside here. And it's got Howie. And Kevin. And Brian. And AJ and Nick. And then it was just said Backstreet Boys on this side. So I guess you could put it up on your wall or in your locker or something, whatever you like. Okay, here's another import CD. This is $8.99 at Virgin Megastore. It is All I Have to Give. Features exclusive remixes of We've Got It Going On, Get Down, and Quit Playing Games With My Heart. And it just looks like this inside, and it's on a piece of plastic. And under the CD is a picture of the Backstreet Boys. There they are. Another one, this one was $8.99 as well. Backstreet Boys As Long As You Love Me. It's got little hearts all over it. It's actually a purple color, so I'm not sure, like a pinky purple. So I'm not sure if it shows up right on there. And it was inside here like this. And there's a CD right here. Nothing else included with that one. And here's the coolest one I've got. That was an official CD at least. It's a limited edition translucent CD. and it is for Anywhere for You. Part 2 of a 2-part CD set. I don't have the other part. Anyway, here's what's inside. Pictures of them. I'm sure everybody remembers these. And the CD itself looks like this. Here it is. See if I can show it. It's like red. And just the center part plays. So the rest it's just for decoration. That was kind of cool anyway. And then we had some CDs. These are from, I think from Germany. They look like Germany or, yeah, I think they're Germany. Anyway, it was a set of CDs. They were called Shape CDs. And there was a set of 5. And I think they had 2 different series of them. Maybe not. Yeah, they did. We had Nick and stuff looking a little bit different. I don't know if I can show you there. You can sort of see they had different hairstyles and stuff. Anyway, what they did is they cut the Backstreet Boys out of these CDs. Here is Kevin's. You can see it's actually like cut in the shape of Kevin. And there's Nick. This one's cut in the shape of Nick. And you'd have to play these on a CD player that had like the thing in the middle which would hold your CD on, like a portable CD player, something with a little post in the middle, otherwise it won't work. And there's Howie. B-Rock, which is Brian. Oops, this one's broken. There's Brian right there. The last one is AJ. And there's AJ in his CD. I thought those are pretty cool. Like, I'll bring one out so you can see. Just like that. Kind of a neat CD. Yeah. I think they were official. It says Jive Records on here, so I guess they are. I'm not sure. They had a lot of unofficial stuff you could buy. And finally, a couple little bonus things to go with it. I did mention earlier that to get the CDs, like extra songs, you'd have to buy a CD. A dance mix CD came out in Canada called Groove Station 3, and this had, where was it? Let's Have a Party by Backstreet Boys. It's actually kind of a cute little song, but you could only get it like this way because it's a European release, and these types of CDs would just buy tracks from popular stars, and usually not very good tracks or not really popular tracks, and they would make them into these mix CDs. So we have that. And there was another one also, I wanted the Backstreet Boys Christmas song, so I bought Superstar Christmas because it had Christmas Time by Backstreet Boys. And finally we have our little bonus CD here, which was Aaron Carter's Crush on You. I think he was on tour with the Backstreet Boys one time when I went, but I didn't actually see him perform. I was either getting there late or something like that, so I never actually saw him. Interesting fact, he actually blocked me on Twitter because I told him that he was supposed to go to rehab. But I'm happy I said it because he did go to rehab. He looks a lot better, so it's fine. I understand he had a problem. Anyway, his CD looked like this, and it was like clear on the sides. And it was a little thing. But it was really cute though, wasn't it? Anyway, so that's all the Backstreet Boys CDs I have from the 90s and a few newer ones. And I hope you enjoyed watching it and remembering some of these songs and some of these CDs with me. Bye!